What is kindness to you? Have you done a random act of kindness today that can change someone's life? Let us know down in the comments. What is up, you guys? And today we'll bring you the story that we personally found wonderful. A story that came from Latin America. Some say it was just a story, and some say it was an eyewitness account. So let's begin. Be sure to give us a thumbs up if you like inspiring stories like this one, and don't forget to subscribe. Make sure you hit the notification bell to stay updated with our upcoming inspirational videos. This is the story of a 17-year-old boy named Antonio. He is a working student as he was his family's breadwinner. He waits tables at a local restaurant in town and he was pretty good at it. He's not only needed to work hard to support himself in college, he also needed to pay for his mother's medical bills and his younger sister's school. Life wasn't exactly dandy for Antonio, but for him, that wasn't a problem for a hardworking kid like himself. There are no problems too tough for people who never give up, especially Antonio, who was also very friendly. His coworkers at the restaurant really liked him. They'd always cheer him on when he hyped at work, when he was so popular with the customers because there was always a smile in his face that can never be defeated. Customers were very satisfied with his service and even the kids loved him. He is even the most tipped waiter in the restaurant, and that wasn't even a secret. One evening, an elderly woman came in looking like she just had a panic attack. Diners one by one started glancing at the woman, thinking that she was stinking up the elegance of the place. You could hear her heavy breaths. She was wearing this certain headscarf that wasn't very aesthetic at the restaurant, her clothes looking all distasteful like she'd gone through a long day. The customers, feeling all entitled, complained about the woman as if she was ruining their night. A few minutes later, a suited man came out of the office door to approach the distressed elderly woman. He insisted that the woman leave as the customers were complaining about her. She refused to leave. She insisted to stay inside where it's safe until someone picks her up. She was clearly someone who needed hospitality while she's distressed, and the man should stop forcing her to leave. A few moments later, the man dragged her out of the restaurant. The elderly woman nearly tripped with the man's brute force. She definitely wasn't treated right that night. Antonio saw all of this, and for the first time in a long time, he felt bad and bothered by what he had seen. He couldn't continue working with that memory in his heart, so he rushed to the kitchen, took some money from his bag, and went outside through the back door. Meanwhile, the suited man apologized to everyone and gave away free ice cream as courtesy. The suited man was the restaurant manager. He was as elegant as the restaurant and he cared about his elegant paying customers. He sticks to his rules no matter how unkind those rules are. Once Antonio was outside the restaurant, he looked all around for that woman. He found her on the corner of the street. He then checked up on her if she's okay, and he immediately handed her some money that he got from the tipping customers. That money would have made a huge difference as he's tied on his college fund, and it was almost time to pick up his mom's prescriptions. Yet he thought about how the woman needed some kindness that night. The woman thanked Antonio with her tears. Antonio never saw what happened to the woman after he went back inside, but that kindness fueled him to work his best, enough fuel to last for a few weeks. A few weeks have passed. Antonio was doing good at school without any financial problems there. His mother and sister were doing good. He was particularly excited for his shift that evening when a well-dressed elderly woman walked in. She looked like she had expensive taste, so the restaurant manager took the honor of serving the woman. He gave her the best seat. He explained the menu to help her choose and everything else a perfectly posh manager needs to do. The woman told the manager that she wasn't impressed by all that. The manager asked what he could do that would impress her. She answered, "Be kind to anyone who walks into the restaurant." The manager was baffled, but she continued to explain. "You dragged me out of the restaurant weeks ago. A woman who was cold and afraid. I needed to stay inside where it was safe until someone picked me up. I was robbed that night, and all you could do was throw out a person who needed help." The manager began apologizing fervently. He was really embarrassed that moment when the woman introduced herself as a co-owner of the group of restaurants they were all under. "There was only one person who helped me that night," said the woman, "and he was one of your waiters." The woman called on Antonio and he quickly walked over to the table where the woman was. She said, "I don't like one of our restaurants to be run by men like you who only ever cared about paying customers. We need people like your waiter here. Not only did he extend help to someone in need, he is sincere with his service to everyone." After that evening, Antonio was promoted manager of the restaurant. All other aspects of his life, like his and his sister's schooling and his mother's health, got a lot better after his promotion, and it's all thanks to kindness. The story teaches us that acts of kindness weighs more than trying to impress people. The restaurant manager wanted to please his posh people, but Antonio had something better. He had a heart. Please give this video a thumbs up, comment down below on how kindness changes everything based on your experience. Make sure to subscribe to our channel and don't forget to click the bell icon to stay updated with our upcoming inspirational videos. See you next time!